The home screen of the Boox Nova has been overhauled from the previous generation. You can see it's very clean now. You have all your alerts up top, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, battery, home and back. You do have a button on the very bottom as well, so if you want to press home and go back, you can actually use the hard button or you can use the soft touch button that's at the top. You also have the glow light. You can disable the touch screen with your fingertips and only use the Wacom layer. You can turn off and on A2 mode, and you can actually cycle through all of your windows that are the things that are running right now. So browser, system update, and everything else will be on your multitask window right there. And then on the left you have library, shop, note, storage, apps, and settings. Your library will just check out really quick. There's a lot of things you can do here. You can filter and sort, refresh library. You can go from list view to thumbnail view. You can choose multiples, and you can add folders very easily and organize everything very simply. While you plug this into the computer and you drag files over, the second you drag a file over, it automatically populates on here. You don't need to do any refreshes. If you do need to do a refresh, there's refresh library right there. Reading experience for standard ebooks has been completely overhauled by Onyx for the 2019 version of the Nova. We'll just go over these one by one. You have TTS. This doesn't have any audio on it or a headphone jack, so you will have to use Bluetooth to set that up. You do have search. You can search through the entire book and basically find any word or anything that's mentioned. You do have refresh. You can do refresh count 1, 5, 10, 30, 50 every page, fast mode, normal refresh, etc. You do have some reading settings as well, and it'll take you to global settings, touch settings, TTS. We're not going to go through every one of these. There's a lot of settings. Onyx has always been really good at including very high level of functionality when it comes to customizing your reading experience, and you'll see throughout this that what we mean. You also have doc, and even on side-loaded stuff, it does a very good job of documenting your table of contents. It automatically populates it, and you can click on something and it'll just jump straight there. So even on side-loaded free public domain content, it will do that very well. You do have progress as well. That's the progress bar down here. You can jump to any page you want by swiping left and right. You do have format as well, and this is where everything gets interesting because you have a slider bar for font size. You can slide that, become smaller, and so forth. Now you have stuff like different fonts and whatnot, but the very important thing that they do is they do encode. And what this means is they have UTF-8, simplified Chinese, Japanese, and pages of this. So a lot of times you run into compatibility issues on a Kindle and a Kobo, but with Onyx products, there's always a way to encode your book. So even if you download Arabic or Russian content, it will work on this perfectly fine. You do have orientation as well. You have format side by side for opening up a book with a bind. You have gamma, so you can increase the gamma, you can increase the text gamma of the text or the images. So that's really cool. It's basically like the font weight. And then you can actually bold everything too. You have to be careful with the bold because they do have a slider bar. You can choose how much you want to bold it. And that's really nice because you don't have to rely on bold fonts specifically. You can actually bold anything. They have spacing style as well. They have line spacing, paragraph spacing, top, bottom, and left and right. That's basically your margins. They have a lot of customization for the reading text display. Then they have side note. We're just going to go ahead and turn this over because it doesn't have a accelerometer to trigger this, or a gyroscope rather. So you can write right away in side note, and everything works as it should. The little hairlines work, the hard bleed press works, and if you tap the center with your fingertips, you get all the functionality you get in the note-taking experience on here. We're not going to show you any more on that is because we're going to save all these amazing features for the note-taking segment. The PDF experience is just exciting now. Before, you actually had to go through 2 or 3 steps to even be able to write on the PDF. But now, if you use the capacitive layer on the screen, you can see it can interact with the page turns. But if you use the pen, you can start writing right away. And that's something Onyx has not struggled with, but they always kind of prevented you from doing. Before, you had to click on that, and then click on Note, and then click on Scribble. Now, you can just actually write right away and erase. So it's completely functionality, its functionality is completely open. They do still have the scribble button, and what that does is gives you all the note-taking tools. And again, we're not going to show that just yet. So we're going to explore the rest of the PDF here. So we have document, and this again does table of contents, but note on side-loaded content it doesn't always work. So some PDFs don't have table of contents embedded, and they just won't populate. You do have the progress bar still, and you do have formats. You have most of the same settings. You have adaptation, which is basically the fit to the corners, fit to the width, etc. You have zoom levels, although you don't really need to use the zoom levels because you do have pinch and zoom. And again, what they did was, oh, we have to clear that because that's an alert. So in the past, they actually didn't have a mini-map. They just had a zoom factor. And now, not only do they have the zoom factor, they have an actual mini-map showing you where you are on the actual file. And that's super cool because sometimes you would get lost on the PDF. You do have some contrast settings as well, watermark if there's watermarks over the particular PDF. You have sharpen, image gamma, text gamma, bold again. You have navigation mode. So you can go comic mode, panel by panel, article mode, and navigation more settings. If you click on here, you get into how you want to change the page. So if you want 2x2 or 3x3 or whatever the settings here on column, it's the levels of customization just never end when it comes to Onyx, and on any zoom level you can start drawing, so you never have to worry about keeping it the full fit to height, fit to width. You never have to worry about having a full page in order to make notes. They've made the note-taking experience first and foremost, so you can just draw anytime you want. The note-taking experience, like everything else, has been overhauled. We do have a bunch of new features here. We'll just show you right now. We're not going to show every single one of these because this is a full review video. You'll have to go into the individual note-taking video to check it out. So the paintbrush will allow you to do hairlines and thicker bleeds by pressing harder. You can also change the line thickness by changing it right there. You do have the eraser function as well. It's very quick, it's very accurate, and it's very snappy. You do have a pencil as well, and this will have the same line thickness all the way through. So if you wanted to do things like that without worrying about pressure sensitivity, you can go like that. You do have shapes, you have circles, triangles, and we have something very nice here. We have eraser. I just showed you some little disclaimer. You do have moving eraser. You can choose the size, stroke eraser, erase all, as I showed you there. If I go back to the paintbrush and I draw my world-renowned box, we have a lasso tool where we can circle that and actually move it around as a transparent PNG object. Basically, you can increase the size, you can decrease the size, you can rotate it around, or you can just delete it altogether. You have text as well, so you can start typing some stuff on the page. Well, I just wrote peter.com. I don't think that's a website, and that's really cool as well because again, you can increase it, you can move it around, and it's completely floating. So that's you can just make as many as you want, and it'll just basically be there, and then you press enter and away it goes. You can use your eraser on it just all the same and erase all and whatnot. Now, something really important we want to add is this one. This is brand new. You do have colors. You have red, green, blue, white, and black. Obviously, you can't see the color on the screen. No matter what you choose, it's going to be black. When you export it, it will be in the respective color, so that's really cool. You do have backgrounds as well, and this is very useful. You have horizontal line 12, 16, different space points, You have Big Grid, Cornell, Calendar, Vertical, McKinsey, I don't even know what that is, but you do have it. And that's the beauty of this, is that you do have a lot of stuff that is available, both the one fixed to the device in your local storage or the cloud. So they basically listened to us when we said we need more backgrounds, because they gave us more backgrounds. This is fantastic. You do have the ability to disable the touchscreen with your fingertip as well. So you can't use your fingertip on any of the icons anymore until you turn it on. You do have export too. Export's very nice. You can export the page and it'll save it to your device. You can jump to it, or you can just press OK to get rid of it. This is new too. You have share. You can share the current page or share all pages, and this gives you a QR code that you can share to people, and then they can check it out from there. You do have refresh if things get too stainy, and you have menu position change to throw things to the other side. You have save, add note, undo, redo, and you do have this as well that shows you all the pages that you've made. So once you create more pages, you go boom, 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 and then go here, you'll see all the pages you made. Stay tuned to our full review video where we go completely in depth into the note-taking experience. The Onyx App Store has always been lacking, and that's not a negative thing, it's just that that's not what they focus on. They do have an App Store, but there's only a couple apps, and they will add more, and they always do add more. You have Google Play Books, Amazon Kindle, couple reading apps, Pocket, and that's basically it. But you can download and sideload in any APK file onto this because it is running full Android. And for those of you that don't know what I mean when I say running Android, for example, an Amazon Kindle can't run apps, so all the things you can find on, say, your smartphone, but this will. So you can download the Kindle app, you can download the Kobo app, heck, you can download Facebook and Instagram on here if you want, and it will work perfectly fine because this is running the latest Android version available on e-ink devices, and you can sideload and go to the storage and find any app that you want that you put on this device and simply install it. Something they do focus on, however, other than their App Store, is their bookstore. Granted, they are all in Chinese. You might be able to find some in other languages, but primarily they're in Chinese. You can simple click and it will be able to show you a download, preview download, full edition download, add to cart, and you do have some other things like catalog, comment, and copyright and whatnot. You do also have some sections up top for free, sale, new book, ranking, and category. Category will show you all the categories. Now, I must give you a little note, and it's not a bad thing, but they've actually isolated the experience to here. So unlike when you go to the App Store, you actually get navigated away from the home screen. This is actually all within the home screen. So it's actually quite convenient because it loads quicker and you don't actually have to go away from the device's UI. You're still here. You still see library, shop, add notes, storage, etc. So that's kind of cool that they did that because we don't see that a whole lot. The glow light has been readjusted to have some new features. So you have the cold light down here, 32 grades of settings. You can go up and down. You can go all the way to the bottom and then turn on the orange light. The beauty of this is you can actually toggle between the two, like so, or you can have them on at the same time. This is what a lot of other manufacturers miss. They only usually allow you to have the warm light or the cold light on, so you get either blue or orange. But when you have the ability to have both, you can control both sets of LEDs just like this. So if you had the warm LEDs here and the cold LEDs here, most companies only allow you to toggle one or the other, whereas Onyx allows you to have both and different intensities of both. Or you can actually sync them, and as you turn them down or up using the top or the bottom bar, they will both be in sync. No other e-reader has done this just yet. This is, it's not groundbreaking, but it is using what is already available and really taking it to the next level. This is very nice. You can create a very good white balance using both sets of LEDs. The Onyx Boox Nova Pro is great bang for your buck. It's $299. It has a stylus layer, it has a capacitive layer, it has Bluetooth, it's running the latest Android version, and it has a glass screen, so it's flush screen and bezel, and you're not going to scratch it like previous iterations of, say, the Note. Onyx released 8 devices in 2018, and it's already March of 2019, and they've released 3, and they have more coming. Onyx has every screen size in the game, and they keep releasing more and more stuff like this. You're not going to be disappointed with this device, especially the fact that you don't have to have a very expensive stylus. This is a generic Wacom stylus that works on basically any Wacom device from Boyu, Onyx, Jezitech, and so forth. It's not like the DPT stylus that costs $150 to replace and you need to charge it with a USB cable. This thing is a very good package. It's good bang for your buck. It's highly recommended, and it is available on the Goody Reader store. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, let us know down below. Otherwise, stay tuned for youtube.com/goodyreader, where we have individual experiences on all of these, the PDF experience, the reading experience, the note-taking experience, and so forth. For goodyreader.com and a full review of the Nova Pro 2019, this is Peter.